Welcome back to part 6 of our reading of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. Hey, please reach down, click like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Sir Gawain makes a covenant with his host. Sir Knight, quoth the host, we will make a covenant. Whatsoever I win in the wood shall be yours, and whatever may fall to your share, that shall ye exchange for it. Let us swear, friend, to make this exchange, however our hap may be, for worse or for better. I grant ye your will, quoth Gawain the good. If ye list so to do, I liketh me well. Bring hither the wine cup, the bargain is made, so said the lord of the castle. They laughed each one, and drank of the wine and made merry, these lords and ladies, as it pleased them. Then with gay talk and merry jest they arose and stood and spoke softly and kissed courteously and took leave of each other. With burning torches and many a serving man was each led to his couch, yet ere they gat them to bed, the old lord oft repeated their covenant, for he knew well how to make sport. Part 3. The first day's hunting. Full early ere daylight, the folk rose up. The guests who would depart called their grooms, and they made them ready, and saddled the steeds, tightened up the girths, and trussed up their mails. The knights, all arrayed for riding, leapt up lightly and took their bridles, and each rode his way as pleased him best. The lord of the land was not the last. Ready for the chase with many of his men, he ate a sop hastily when he had heard mass, and then with the blast of the bugle fared forth to the field. He and his nobles were to horse ere daylight glimmered upon the earth. Then the huntsmen coupled their hounds, unclosed the kennel door, and called them out. They blew 3 blasts gaily on the bugles, the hounds bayed fiercely, and they that would go a-hunting checked and chastised them. 100 hunters there were of the best, so I have heard tell. Then the trackers gat them to the trysting place, and uncoupled the hounds, and the forest rang again with their gay blasts. At the first sound of the hunt, the game quaked with fear and fled, trembling along the vale. They betook them to the heights, but the layers in wait turned them back with loud cries. The harts let them pass them, and the stags with their spreading antlers, for the Lord had forbidden that they should be slain. But the hinds and the does they turned back, and drave down into the valleys. Then might ye see such shooting of arrows. As the deer fled under the boughs, a broad whistling shaft smote and wounded each sorely, so that, wounded and bleeding, they fell dying on the banks. The hounds followed swiftly on their tracks, and the hunters, blowing the horn, sped after them with ringing shouts as if the cliffs burst asunder. What game escaped those that shot was run down at the outer ring. Thus were they driven on the hills and harassed at the waters. So well did the men know their work, and the greyhounds were so great and swift that they ran them down as fast as the hunters could slay them. Thus the Lord passed the day in mirth and joyfulness, even to nightfall. How the lady of the castle came to Sir Gawain. So the Lord roamed the woods, and Gawain, that good knight, lay ever abed, curtained about under the costly coverlet, while the daylight gleamed on the walls. And as he lay half slumbering, he heard a little sound at the door, and he raised his head and caught back a corner of the curtain, and waited to see what it might be. It was the lovely lady, the Lord's wife. She shut the door softly behind her and turned toward the bed. And Gawain was shamed, laid him down softly, and made as if he slept. And she came lightly to the bedside within the curtain, and sat herself down beside him to wait till he wakened. The knight lay there a while, and marveled within himself what her coming might betoken. And he said to himself, "'Twere more seemly if I asked her what hath brought her hither." Then he made faint to waken, and turned toward her, and opened his eyes as one astonished, and crossed himself. And she looked on him, laughing, with her cheeks red and white, lovely to behold, and small smiling lips. "Good morrow, Sir Gawain," said the fair lady. "Ye are but a careless sleeper, since one can enter thus. Now are ye taken unawares, and lest ye escape me, I shall bind you in your bed, of that be ye assured. Laughing, she spake these words. Good morrow, fair lady, quoth Gawain blithely. I will do your will as it likes me well. For I yield me readily, and pray your grace, and that is best, by my faith, since I needs must do so. Thus he jested again, laughing. But an ye would, fair lady, grant me this grace, that ye pray your prisoner to rise, I would get me from bed, and array me better, then I could talk with ye in comfort. Nay, forsooth, fair sir, quoth the lady, ye shall not rise. I will rede ye better. I shall keep ye here, since ye can do no other, and talk with my knight, whom I have captured. For I know well that ye are Sir Gawain, whom all the world worships, wheresoever ye may ride. Your honor and your courtesy are praised by lords and ladies, by all who live. Now ye are here, and we are alone. My lord and his men are afield, the serving men in their beds, and my maidens also, and the door shut upon us. And since in this hour I have him that all men love, I shall use my time well with speech while it lasts. Ye are welcome to my company, for it behooves me, in sooth, to be your servant. In good faith, quoth Gawain, I think me that I am not him of whom ye speak, for unworthy am I of such service as ye here proffer. In sooth, I were glad if I might set myself by word or service to your pleasure. A pure joy would it be to me. In good faith, Sir Gawain, quoth the gay lady, the praise and the prowess that pleases all ladies, I lack them not, nor hold them light. Yet there are ladies enough who would liever now have the knight in their hold, as I have ye here to dally with your courteous words, to bring them comfort, to ease their cares, than much of the treasure and the gold that are theirs. And now, through the grace of him who upholds the heavens, I have wholly in my power that which they all desire. Thus the lady, fair to look upon, made him great cheer, and Sir Gawain, with modest words, answered her again. Madam, he quoth, may Mary requite thee, for in good faith I have found in ye a noble frankness. Much courtesy have other folk shown me, but the honour they have done me is naught to the worship of yourself, who knoweth but good. By Mary, quoth the lady, I think otherwise. For were I worth all the women alive, and had I the wealth of the world in my hand, and might choose me a lord to my liking, then for all that I have seen in ye, Sir Knight, of beauty and courtesy and blithe semblance, and for all that I have hearkened and hold for true, there shall be no knight on earth to be chosen before ye. Well, I wot, quoth Sir Gawain, that ye have chosen a better, but I am proud that ye should so prize me, and as your servant do I hold ye my sovereign, and your knight I am, and may Christ reward ye. So they talked of many matters till mid-morn was past, and ever the lady made as though she loved him, and the knight turned her speech aside. For though she were the brightest of maidens, yet had he forborne to show her love for the danger that awaited him, and the blow that must be given without delay. Then the lady prayed her leave from him, and he granted it readily. And she have him good day, with laughing glance, but he must needs marvel at her words. Now he that speeds fair speech reward ye this sport, but that ye be Gawain, my mind misdoubts me greatly. Wherefore, quoth the knight quickly, fearing lest he had lacked in some courtesy. And the lady spake, so true a knight as Gawain is holden, and one so perfect in courtesy, would never have tarried so long with a lady, but he would of his courtesy have craved a kiss at parting. How the lady kissed Sir Gawain. Then quoth Gawain, I wot I will do even as it may please ye, and kiss at your commandment, as a true knight should who forbears to ask for fear of displeasure. At that she came near, and bent down and kissed the knight, and each commended the other to Christ, and she went forth from the chamber softly. Then Sir Gawain arose and called his chamberlain, and chose his garments, and when he was ready, he gat him forth to mass, and then went to meat and made merry all day till the rising of the moon, and never had a knight fairer lodging than had he with those two noble ladies, the elder and the younger. And even the lord of the land chased the hinds through the holt and heath till eventide, and then with much blowing of bugles and baying of hounds, they bore the game homeward, and by the time daylight was done, all the folk had returned to the fair castle. And when the lord and Sir Gawain met together, then were they both well pleased. The lord commanded them all to assemble in the great hall, and the ladies to descend with their maidens. And there before them all he bade the men fetch in the spoil of the day's hunting, and he called unto Gawain and counted the tale of the beasts, and showed them unto him, and said, What think ye of this game, Sir Knight? I have deserved of ye thanks for my woodcraft. Yea, I wis, quoth the other. Here is the fairest spoil I have seen this 7 years in the winter season. How the covenant was kept. And all this I do give ye, Gawain, quoth the host, for by accord of covenant ye may claim it as your own. That is sooth, quoth the other. I grant you the same, and I have fairly won this within walls, and with as good will do you I yield to thee. With that he clasped his hands round the lord's neck and kissed him as courteously as he might. Take ye here my spoils. No more have I won. Ye should have it freely, though it were greater than this. 'Tis good, said the host. Gramercy thereof. Yet were I fain to know where ye won this same favour, and if it were by your own wit. Nay, answered Gawain, that was not in the bond. Ask me no more. Ye have taken what was yours by right. Be content with that. They laughed and jested together, and sat them down to supper, where they were served with many dainties. And after supper they sat by the hearth, and wine was served out to them. And oft in their jesting they promised to observe on the morrow the same covenant that they had made before, and whatever chance might betide to exchange their spoil, be it much or little, when they met at night. Thus they renewed their bargain before the whole court, and then the night drink was served, and each courteously took leave of the other and gat him to bed. And I think we'll pause here, and we'll continue with the second day's hunting in the next video. I love you guys. As Tigger says, ta-ta for now.